do solemnly swear to
Green Lantern's life!
Would you believe if I told you the most powerful weapon in the universe has a fatal flaw? A crack in its armor, a kryptonite to its Superman? The Green Lantern Corps, legendary space cops armed with rings that can create anything the mind imagines. Limitless power, boundless will. But here's the twist. That power? It's built on a lie. Because every lantern has a weakness. And no, it's not just the color yellow. That's child's play. We're talking about something deeper, something psychological, a flaw so fundamental it's not just in the ring. It's in the wearer. Today, we're cracking open the real weakness of the Green Lanterns, the one thing that can turn the universe's greatest weapon into a paperweight. And trust me, by the end of this, your perspective of looking at that glowing green symbol will change. Alright, let's start with the classic weakness, the one even your grandma might know if she's a casual comic book fan, the color yellow. Back in the Silver Age, Green Lantern's ring had a hilariously specific flaw. It couldn't affect anything colored yellow. A cosmic police officer with the power to build planet-sized fists out of pure energy, completely shut down by a banana, a school bus, a traffic sign. Why? Because the guardians of the universe, those tiny blue know-it-alls who created the rings, built fear into their design. They believed fear was the ultimate enemy of willpower, so they hardwired the weakness into the rings themselves. Imagine if your phone just stopped working every time you saw the color red. Sorry, can't send that text. Your shirt's too scarlet. That's the level of absurd we're dealing with here. But here's the kicker. This wasn't just a random glitch, it was a psychological trap. Because the real weakness wasn't the color, it was what the color represented. Fear, the one thing that could erode a lantern's willpower like acid. And that's where things get really interesting, because eventually, the Guardians fixed the yellow impurity. But guess what? The weakness didn't go away, it just evolved. The real flaw was never in the ring, it was in the lanterns themselves. You see, the power of the Green Lantern Corps doesn't come from the ring, it comes from willpower. Unshakable, relentless, unstoppable willpower. But here's the catch, willpower isn't infinite. Think of it like a muscle. Push it too hard, and it snaps. That's why even the greatest lanterns, Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, have moments where their constructs flicker, where their focus breaks. Because no matter how strong you are, everyone has a limit. Hal Jordan, the guy who once reared time itself with his ring, once got taken down by a hallucination of his dead dad. John Stewart, the architect of entire worlds, froze up when he couldn't save a planet. Kyle Rayner, the torchbearer, nearly lost everything when his emotions overwhelmed him. But wait, it gets worse, because there's another layer to this. A weakness so brutal, it's taken down entire sectors of the core. Okay, time to talk about the boogeyman of the Green Lantern Corps. The thing that lurks in the cracks of every ring, whispering doubts, feeding on panic. Parallax. This isn't just some yellow bug, it's the living embodiment of fear itself. A cosmic parasite that hijacks lanterns from the inside, turning their greatest strength into their worst nightmare. Because here's the horrifying truth. Parallax was inside the central power battery the whole time. Yeah, the Guardians didn't just accidentally leave a weakness to yellow, they trapped their own core with a fear god. And when Parallax gets inside a lantern, it's over. Their willpower twists. Their light corrupts. Hal Jordan, the greatest of them all, got possessed by Parallax and murdered the entire core. Kyle Rayner watched his girlfriend get stuffed in a fridge because of Parallax's influence. Even Sinestro, the guy who invented fear-based rings, fell victim to it. But here's the twist, this weakness? It's also their salvation. Because the moment lanterns accept fear instead of denying it, that's when they become unstoppable. So, if willpower has limits, and fear is inevitable, how do the greatest Green Lanterns win? Simple, they stop fighting it. Think about it. Hal Jordan defeated Parallax by wielding it. Kyle Rayner mastered the emotional spectrum because he embraced his fear, love, and rage. Even the Guardians, after billions of years of denial, finally admitted fear wasn't the enemy. Control was. It's like fire. You can either burn yourself trying to smother it, or you can harness it. Remember Hal's dead dad hallucination? Later, he channeled that pain into an unstoppable construct. John Stewart's guilt over failing a planet? That's what makes him triple check every decision. The weakness became their strength. And that's the Guardians' ultimate irony. They built the core to be fearless, but its greatest heroes had to learn fear to master it. So here's the question, what's your yellow? We all have a parallax, a doubt that whispers, a fear that flickers a focus. But the lesson of the Green Lanterns isn't about power, it's about accepting the flaw to transcend it. Drop a comment with your answer and be honest. Because the real test isn't whether you're fearless, it's whether you'd let that fear make you stronger.